Welcome to another episode of Tarot Deck Video Review. My name is Ivan Westy from WildWood Tarot, and today's featured deck is the WildWood Tarot by Mark Ryan and John Matthews with card illustration by Will Worthington. Now, let's start the review. The WildWood Tarot, published in 2016, is a unique, fresh, and re-energized version of the Greenwood Tarot, which was published 20 years before in 1996. Mark Ryan, one of the two authors for this deck, was one of the original authors from the Greenwood series. The WildWood Tarot is a real and evolving contribution to the previous Greenwood Tarot, to an ancient, nature-based mythos. Mark Ryan and John Matthews used the Greenwood ethos as a foundation for redefining and evolving the concepts to create the WildWood Tarot by adding mature and clear insights and imagery, with the help of Will Worthington as the card illustrator. They wanted to bring awareness to the exotic archetypes that inhabit the Wildwood, and the Wheel of the Year system as the foundation to bringing cultural and spiritual awareness of our relationship to the inner landscape of our mind. The concept behind the WildWood Tarot deck is about mankind's spiritual connection to Mother Nature. We are reminded in the WildWood guidebook that mankind has lost its path, both mental and spiritual, and needs to rebuild that connection that goes back to prehistoric time. We forget that we are guests on this planet. That's how our ancestors saw it. Mother Earth is our host and allows us to live on her land with a mutual give and take agreement. We are interwoven with her fabric. We learn to adapt to the changing of the seasons and the bounty that comes and goes with those changes. We have built shelters and hunted the wildlife that she has provided. She throws in challenges such as storms, harsh winters, and dry summers to wake up our dormant instincts of survival, and teaches us to prepare in advance for the next environmental challenge. Nature gave us these defenses at a time when it would save our lives. Now in the 21st century, our mental and spiritual instincts have become weak from lack of use. We are now the masters, and Mother Earth and the rest of living creation is here for our use. The introduction of man-made inventions and technology has softened our need to fight for survival. Everything is automated and instant to make our lives easier and better. Instant gratification. Our ever-increasing dependence on technical and engineering advances has made our natural need for wholeness and balance with the world both forgotten and abandoned. WildWood author Mark Ryan has summed it all up in the guidebook as quoted. The human spirit has become detached from the need for meaning and understanding of human existence. All the material gain of the 20th century has failed to fulfill this basic spiritual requirement and has left many people hungry for knowledge and peace. We need to find a way back to the forest path that sees us safely through the dark and primal wildwood of life. End quote. This tarot deck is a different concept that does not follow the traditional Rider-Waite card meanings, and I recommend this deck for anyone who is looking for something that strays away from the path of traditional concepts. The leaning curve is steep at first if you are not familiar with the Wheel of the Year concept or traditional neo-pagan archetypes. But with enough time and study, you will be immersed in a beautiful, primitive, and ancestral world that you can once again spiritually call home. This was my second deck that I purchased a year ago, and I wanted to take my time over the next few months knowing that this was going to be a challenge in grasping the ideology of this deck. I have read the guidebook twice in order to understand and follow, and I now have the confidence to use this deck. I love the card image and colors, which to me is the selling point in wanting to use this deck each time for a reading. The Wheel of the Year is the foundation for the WildWood Tarot concept, reflecting the natural turning of the seasons, the movement and migration of the animals, and the physical effects the elements and environmental conditions had on the practical and spiritual lives of those living in pre-Christian times, and which can still empower us today. The basis of the Wheel of the Year is made up of pre-Christian mythology, medieval theology, and Renaissance classicism. The traditional Fool's Journey also takes place through the path of the Wheel of the Year, whereas the Fool, now known as the Wanderer in this deck, will encounter the archetypes that dwell within the wildwood forest until he reaches a final destination, which is the world tree and to the soul of the earth. Thank you to everyone who took the time to watch this video. I do hope that it was insightful. Once again, my name is Ivan Westy from WildWood Tarot, and please click the like button on this video to show your support, or you could even subscribe to my YouTube page as well. I am on Facebook and Instagram at Rebel Star Tarot. This has been another episode of Tarot Deck Video Review. Thank you once again. I'll see you around next time.
From